everybody, welcome to Brainstorm. It's Natalie Harris. Welcome. Thank you for joining me again. This is my mental health podcast. And today we are going to use some topics that were given to me by some amazing friends on Facebook. I reached out a couple weeks ago and said, what do you want to talk about on 2018's edition of Brainstorm? And I was so happy and overwhelmed with how many ideas came through. So today's 3 topics that we're going to share about are how to have realistic goals. So that's pretty broad and general. I'm going to share with you what initially comes to my mind when I hear that point or topic. We're also going to talk about self-compassion ideas. I have my notes right here that I need to look at because my memory is horrible. Self-compassion ideas. I love that topic idea. What kind of things do other people use to take care of themselves? What do I do? Even though, battling with mental illness like depression and anxiety and PTSD, it can be really difficult to take care of yourself. I think it's really important to remember how necessary self-care is and self-compassion. So how do we do that? I love that topic as well. And the last topic is how to deal with the unknown. And I think in our society, we like to have answers. And I'll speak for myself. Growing up as kind of type A personality, I wanted answers too. I wanted to succeed and excel in whatever I did. And it was very hard for me to accept that there was gray areas in life. Didn't compute with me. It didn't make sense. But as I've learned through different courses and different therapies, the gray is everywhere. And talking about that is a really important topic. So first we're going to start with what we were saying, is having realistic goals. And the thing that came to me was realistic goals also doesn't include goals for myself always, because I'm a mom, I have 2 kids, and we want the best for our kids all the time. But it's really important to know that our goals might not be the same as their goals, and that's okay. It is what it is. And I was reading a magazine, I was reading Psychology Today, and I came across a really great quote that really resonated with this topic for me. So I want to read it to you. And it's by Kaja Perina. That is the author's name. It says, "You cannot want more for others than they want for themselves. To want something more or different for people is potentially to misunderstand them. It fosters conflict rather than respect, and it fails to acknowledge an essential otherness." I just found that so powerful and so true. Growing up, I was lucky that my parents didn't have a strict rule with what I was supposed to do in my life. I mean, rules are necessary, but for my future, it was just kind of open, and what I wanted to attain was out there for me. And that's what I try to do for my kids. I don't have even a specific education goal for them. I'm pretty open-minded with learning through life and learning that I personally see some kids going to university, which is wonderful. I have nothing against that. I have a university degree and a college diploma. But sometimes they go away because it's just that time to go away. But really, they don't feel ready and they aren't sure what they want to pursue. So I'm a really big proponent for even exploring life a little bit through different jobs and volunteering and different life experiences, and kind of testing the waters to see which makes more sense and figuring out what education route works best for those certain goals. Because university might not be the only example of something that is the education needed for every career. I know as a paramedic, I went to college and then I got my paramedic degree with the hopes of using that in the future in education as being an educator. And I loved taking those courses. It was amazing. But college was the route for me, and it was a great and amazing career. And sadly, I got sick while I was a paramedic, and I can't be one anymore. But I was for over 11 years, and I have many amazing, wonderful memories from it. So, well, mental wellness, I really find for our kids is really important, that they're able to hear us give them guidance, but to grow and blossom in the way that they are supposed to. I know that there's lots of successful people out there that don't have a university degree or a college diploma. It depends on the person. So realistic goals is very individualized. It depends on who you are and what you want and how you are going to go about achieving those things. My way of achieving something might be a different way than your way, and that's okay as well. Other things, speaking of mental health and mental wellness, realistic goals with healing and recovery is very, very important. So when I first was diagnosed with PTSD, depression, and anxiety, I really thought it was the end of the world in many senses. I thought, how will I ever recover from that? And then I went through I transitioned into a different stage where I just wanted to get better. I wanted answers. I wanted to know what I was supposed to do, what courses was I supposed to take, which doctors was I supposed to see, where was I supposed to go to get better. And I can tell you, so it's 2018 and I was diagnosed in 2014, it takes time. The realistic goals surrounding wellness and mental wellness, and I can say just from my own experience, is that it comes in stages and it doesn't happen overnight. A realistic goal to go to sleep and wake up without PTSD isn't realistic. That's what I mean. It's not realistic. You have to just live one day at a time. And living one day at a time brings me into one of our next topics, and that is unknown outcomes and how to deal with them. So I found another really good quote I wanted to share with you, and this one is by Tony Bernhard, again from Psychology Today. And it's very true in my eyes. It says, "Expect the unexpected and make peace with it." When I slowly started to realize that life is so unexpected, there are good things that happen and there are bad things that happen, and that will be like that forever. Life isn't perfect. It just isn't what life is. There are mountains and there are valleys and there are good experiences and bad experiences, and we learn from all of them. And that's taken me many, many years to figure that out. I thought, well, how are we going to just be happy all the time? And, I saw the world in a very dark light, and I didn't want to see it in any other way because I saw pain everywhere. And I had to realize that it wasn't my responsibility to be able to fix all that pain, and that I still needed to just live one day at a time, and that there isn't always pain, that there's some wonderful, beautiful moments in life as well, as long as we open our eyes and really focus and try to be mindful of them around us all the time. So I think that living in the now is a big topic and a big thing that we hear in social media. I've even seen a watch that says now. There's no hands, or there might be hands on it, but there's no numbers. There isn't any hours or minutes. It's just now. to remind you every time you look at the time to really be present and to be focused in what you're doing. So for me to be focused right now and being able to share this podcast with you is important, and it makes it even more enjoyable when I'm able to do that and I'm not just saying things without a reason behind it, and I'm not saying things without wanting to have a really positive effect on you. So that one was a really great topic as well, unknown outcomes and how to deal with them. Because how to deal with them depends on the person, but I really think in my experience, if outcomes aren't what we wanted, they are often what we needed. And we may not see that at first, that whatever goal we had, maybe you went down a different road and you realized, the first goal wasn't really where you belonged in the first place. So just expect the unexpected and make peace with it. I really loved that saying a lot. So the last topic for tonight is self-compassion ideas. So things that pop into my mind are naps. I personally find my brain is like overstimulated even with little things. I have a sound sensitivity and I wear earplugs. So if I go out somewhere, it's very draining, and I need to remind myself that it's okay to give myself and my body the time to recuperate from that. So I try to do that whenever I can and when I need to. I also like having bubble baths and just like getting comfy and cozy in my bed and snuggling my pet, my dog Walter. We're going to have another podcast that's about dog therapy and pet therapy, because dogs aren't the only pets that give us therapy and wellness. That's absolutely the truth. And other things that I like to do, well, you're helping me do it for self-compassion. You're okay, Walter. Speaking of dogs, he just heard, I think, a snowplow go by, and he's he might bark. Hang on a second. You okay, Walter? It's okay. You're okay. It's okay. You're a good boy. I love you. You're good. So things for self-compassion is simple things like even having a shower. So now that I'm trying to do my podcast and do video formats and video versions as well, and showing my face, not just using my voice, so that the platform can be even wider and hopefully help more people, I am inspired to have a shower and actually put some makeup on. And I thank you for that, because a lot of times I don't have the energy for those things, and if I don't have a reason to, I usually don't. So I really find that as self-compassion for myself. So what are your examples of self-compassion and self-care? What things do you do? I know that some of my friends enjoy buying scented essential oils that can help them as well with different ailments in your body, whether it's your brain or another part of your body. Some people enjoy exercise. That's wonderful to do. Some people enjoy cooking, gardening. There's lots of wonderful ideas on what you can do to enjoy self-care. And I would love to hear your ideas as well. So you can find me at ParamedicNat1 on Instagram and Twitter. My website is paramedicnatsmentalhealthjourney.com. You can also find my story in my book, Save My Life School, which is available online at Indigo and Chapters, and also Kindle, Kobo, and iBooks. And please subscribe to my videos. I'll be sharing lots more ideas about wellness, and share your ideas for topics. Give feedback. I would love to hear what you think. My ideas aren't the only ideas, heaven forbid, not even close. So sharing yours is really important to me as well. So thank you for listening, and we will chat soon. Bye for now.